Welcome back, VT crew. I appreciate y'all for coming back. This is video two. Video two. This video, I don't know. I guess we'll just talk about my day today, bro. I'll be honest. I had a few epiphanies today. Like today, I woke up and I'm trying to remember what I saw. I saw this powerful quote that says something along the lines of, what is it? When you go at something with expectation, you unintentionally kind of create a bias as you go talk to that person, and then now you're going there without expectations you said that you were gonna go with. So I think going at things with no expectations or low expectations is the safest way to go, because that way you're not surprised when they disappoint you. You know, you're not surprised when they dub you. Or because at the end of the day, you weren't expected to buy this. You're not expected to get a yes. You're just going there as it is. Like, let me see what I can do. And it's interesting. Also, and if I'm not looking at the camera most of the time, chances are I'm thinking. When I think, you know, when somebody's thinking, they kind of just hone in on what they're looking at and just try to figure out what they think. That's just how I am. But one thing I'm gonna say is, I don't really know. One thing about life that it's nobody's fault, but one thing about life is people have to understand the trick to doing a lot of the stuff that you're connecting with other people. Let's say you got a shorty that you like, you try to rizz her up and do all that shit. You gotta understand, bro. If you don't meet her at her human first, yeah, you see the attraction. Yeah, let's say she got big yams, she's got a big, yeah, we get that. But at that point, I want you to know, you just, you kind of, I'll be honest, you kind of just, removed it. You didn't mention one time about who she is, or I'm trying to know who that person is. She looks like an interesting person. She looks like she's outgoing. You don't hear that. But when you're able to let people open up, not only are you seen as a good person, you're also opening them up. Because at the end of the day, I'm reading a book called Just Listen, and they talk about shit like that almost all the time. Stuff like, you gotta be more interested in her than she's interested in you. And it starts with just wanting to know who somebody is. It's really not that hard, to be honest. I feel like a lot of people just be trying to OD, it's never that. It's not about what you say. It's not about any. It's about how comfortable of a person do you make people feel. And at the end of the day, that's a question you gotta ask. And if you're struggling to make people comfortable, then I guess what? You kind of have to work your ass inside. It means something out there. If you're struggling to, let me put it this way. If you're struggling to, then you gotta work on simple as that. I didn't even have to use words, and I hope that you guys understood that. But then again, not everybody can think that way. But to be honest, it is what it is. Another thing I had an epiphany today. And I was just sitting in the bathroom, and a thought came to my mind, and I was just thinking, I used to do I'll keep it up, I used to do a lot of research on videos online, like a lot of people, right, that were part of the game, or the rizz game and all that stuff. Because I'll be honest, I'm a man and I'm a human being in today's generation, so obviously I'm gonna fall victim to that, right? I'm looking back, I used to do a lot of stuff because I used to think. I realized something. They're all just regular people, respectfully, to the women. You guys are all just regular people. You guys would love to be treated like regular humans. So it's as simple as really that. People always put people on pedestals. Let's say an idol. You looking at this, just another human being. You take the money, the ranking, everything away, I promise you that nigga's just another human being. And people don't understand that. When you meet somebody at the human level first, and then you let all the other stuff just comes in naturally. Because now you want to vibe, now you want to be with this person, now you want to talk to him on the phone, now you got the number, and all you were doing was just being interested in the person. It's as simple as that. But then again, some people let shit like that fly over their heads. It's really as simple as that, Mirroring is important, If you're open to somebody, I think the book mentions there's a part in the book that mentions something about using tactical vulnerability, I believe. And it's literally just being able to be vulnerable to somebody, being able to be transparent, let them know what's going on in your life. Chances are they're gonna be willing to be transparent with you as well, and it's beautiful because that's what being a genuine human being really is and what it means. So people gotta understand this. But then again, not everybody understands that. Me personally, a lot of my beliefs and a lot of my values come from my relationship with God and what I believe. As many know, I'm a Catholic, so I grew up with Catholic beliefs and Catholic values. But I'll be honest, there are times where I did question it as well, and I would feel something like it's normal. It's normal to ask questions, and through that process of just trying to figure everything out, I found myself coming right back to Catholicism because I believe every single saint that has died, every single saint is known for. A saint is a person who literally died for Christ. It's a person that you see day to day, but he's a person who was willing to die for the sake of Christ. I'm not saying that everybody that dies Christian is just no. A saint is a person who lived their life according to Christ and died for Christ. And each time we have many saints. Look at Mother Teresa. We got, I think it was, I forgot what to say. My favorite saint is Saint Francis of Assisi, but you guys could do your own research on that. But it was a pretty good. I'm trying to remember what the heck he did. I'll be honest, I don't remember too much. It's been a while, but I know I've always found him very unique in a way, because I think he died similarly. I don't know which word it is, but he died like similar to how Jesus died. I think his was a bit. I can't remember too much. I remember watching a movie when I was younger, and I'll be honest, it was pretty interesting because people at that, he was a monk, by the way. People at that time had like the little bald heads, like little toupee thing, and the monks were literally committed people who were brought to the church when they were kids, and every single day that I think Saint Francis of Assisi saved a princess or somebody from getting married to a bad person. But I don't remember if that was him or if I'm just mistaken his story with Saint Nicholas. But I'm not even going to try to remember anymore because obviously it looks like I'm doing a bad job of it. But I don't know. People got to understand that those values that he had, I'm a modern human being. Am I a saint? I am the furthest thing from a saint. And I'm a man enough to say it. It's not that hard to be a man and have accountability, show transparency, be vulnerable. That's what it means to be a man. And you're able to stand on it. If I don't got a car right now, bro, believe it or not, I don't even got a car. And I can stand on that. Why? Because how are you going to argue with me about my position? Yeah, I know I don't got a car and I know what I'm going to do to get one. It's one step at a time. I just finished college last year. Or dropped out. I'll be honest, I just dropped out of college last year actually. And now look at me. I'm working my way, building bricks by brick. I know what I am. I started by, instead of working on just stacking money and just do, you know what I did? I took a different route. I chose to build from inside out. Every day I could have went to work, it would have been like slaving. Working with no purpose. I work at Lowe's, bro. I'm working with no purpose. But every time I go to work, I want to know how everybody's day is going. I'm a customer. I'm gonna put human first. I genuinely care about every single person in this world. I can look you in your face and tell you I love you. And if a person pisses me off, I'll beat their ass. And I will help them. I will pick them up, and I'll watch them and everything, and tell them that I love them. All because of how much I'm able to love myself. Another thing too. There's a quote that I recently posted on Instagram. So I don't know if a lot of people are able to see it, but this quote literally says something along the lines of, you find not every person who smokes is evil, and not everybody who goes to the is nice. Or it was or I think they said it. It was just they said it a bit more extreme. But you don't find you can find good-hearted people in the worst terrible places, and you can find the worst human beings in the most best in the, I almost use terrible grammar, but in the best surrounding places. And that's how a lot of things are. People gotta understand that if you truly want to live a rich life, it's not about the life you give. Let's say I make all that money, right? Who am I sharing that happiness with? I'm happy about I got that money, but that's just me that's happy. Who else is happy? Now, money ain't happy, it's just money. Money has no value at all. It's what you do with the money, and it's who you help. That's what really matters. It's your intention that matters. Your purpose, I'll say. Because if your purpose is to help a lot of people, your drive every time you work, you're not thinking about, oh damn, I'm putting. No, you think about how many smiles those kids are gonna show you. How many, and even when you hit a bumper, you're gonna only think, damn, it's gonna be a better push instead of saying, damn, I need the money, no. You're gonna be saying, I need to make Timmy happy. Timmy has to smile. Timmy has to move on, and I'm gonna do what I can to make Timmy smile. And look at that. You see, that's the difference between a purpose-driven man and a person who's just there to try to make money. Because a person who's purpose-driven is not living their life for themselves. They're living their life for others. And when you live your life for others, you're living a life that's higher than your own, and that's valuable, which is why you get, I'll be honest, you get the best motivation, the best motivational energy or adrenaline rush. And that adrenaline rush, that adrenaline rush comes from the Most High. It comes from God. And when God agrees with what you're doing, I promise you, every single day, even when you're angry, you always break loose. Another thing, let me give you a quick example, a beautiful example. Yesterday, I didn't even finish mine. Yesterday, I was working on an order. At Lowe's, I'm a pro, so I work on orders. So my friend had finished half of the orders, and I told him I was gonna finish the other half. Yes, I did finish it, but it was rushed. Terrible time management. I kept on distracting myself. Every time it came to doing it, I was not doing it. I'll be honest, it wasn't that I wasn't doing it deliberately, but it was more of I would allow myself to forget about it, and that's not good. Because what happened at the end of the day, I came in this morning, I was getting barked at and everything, right? And I'll be honest, yesterday I made a promise to myself. I was like, I'll be damned if I ever let another order slip my fingers, because this is the second time it's happened, and I've been barked at both times. This was unnecessary. I could have easily finished it too. Being a man is taking accountability. It's not, yes, it's my short day. Yes, I didn't have as much support, but at the end of the day, I still could have finished it. That's the thing. And I genuinely believe that I could have finished it, because I've done it many, many times before. I do orders every single day. I'm pulling something every single day, So this is nothing new. No matter how big or small, I can do it. But at that time, I messed up, and that's because I let myself become distracted. It is, I'm telling you, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Then, this morning, I'll be honest, not my boy, that's my brother, twin, that's my family right there. He came in today and he told me, oh, the order, this is the order that we saw a lot with 3 pages, mind you, this is damn near 4 orders, so this motherfucker ordering a whole list of everything. Respectfully though, let me chill on cussing, calling them out, calling them out their name. I don't know who they are, but I just wasn't happy with what they did. But they ordered a whole lot of stuff, and then it wasn't until the end of the day I realized something. I had told myself that I was never gonna let another order slip, and then I came today with the hardest order possible that I've ever done since I started working here. Me and my boy, just us two. I'll keep it a buck, respectfully. I'm not calling them out because obviously I don't really know too much about what they were doing, but the people who are supposed to be in charge of their department, the lumber department, they were not there. I think one of them got taken out, and the other guys, I couldn't tell you, I lost track of them. But me and LJ were cutting wood, helping every single lumber customer we don't know nothing about. And we got that big ass order done. We got that huge order done. And then at the end of the day, not too long ago, he just sent me a picture of, he sent me not picture of yeah, and it was a picture of this book he's reading, and that book was saying that you there are those people who, I think it says that pressure plus preparation equals something. That's confidence plus preparation, something like that. I'm not even sure, but if I can, I'm just gonna summarize it. It goes something along the lines of, there are those who are hungry, and you gotta be one of those people who are hungry enough to pretty much to do shit that's going to push you further by challenging yourself in a way. Or and then they gave this example of, what was it? What was that little example they gave? So it's not the tip of my tongue. So that little example that they gave was something. I'm probably gonna have to edit this out. But something, an example. I'm not even gonna remember too much about it, to be honest. It's like 11 at night right now. I usually sleep at 9:30, but I decided to make a video now so I can. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into it. But yeah, no, the book was pretty interesting, to be honest. They were talking about, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, they say this guy right here, he pops every single time a big moment comes, he's always there. But the guy was saying, but the book was saying, why are you comfortable being available in that big? What about the other games? You know, I understand the big moment. Why are they just praising you at that one big game? Were you not doing enough? How are you only able to be acknowledged at that one game? And that was what made you gotta be hungry. You gotta stay hungry. People used to make fun of Rick Ross's. I'm one of them. Rick Ross's video when it first came out saying you gotta stay in that cold. You gotta stay hungry. You gotta stay in that cold. That shit all makes sense. You gotta be hungry, because the only person you're competing against is yourself. And when you are your own biggest critic, your own biggest competitor, and your own biggest motivator, oh my goodness, what can anybody outside say that you haven't already said? And what can they do? Because your mind is only thinking about you. So why are you worried? You know. So it's reading that book just made me realize that's a value that I live my life by nowadays. And I'll be honest, I'll be more than happy to have any discussion with anybody. You know, hit me up on any time, and I'll be more than happy to break it down to you, because it's gotten to a point where I'm tired of being the only person. That I feel like I'm the only person who's in a position where I'm constantly thriving, growing, progressing, and I want my people to enjoy that too. So I'm gonna do every single thing I can to help them reach where I am, because I am so happy where I am. I'm so confident in myself. I love every single person. I can confidently say every single one of that stuff because I know who I am. I'll be damned if anybody says anything less. But it's important to always keep your values positive and constantly give them to God. You know, let God be the check. Let God be the checker. You know, every time you think, oh, I'm gonna start by let me think about I'm gonna make like 5K and all that stuff. You know, I wanna get a Lambo. I wanna get those. Yes, those are go do that. You know, I wanna be a millionaire. That's a good value and all that stuff. Why? There's no meaning behind that. You just you wanna be a millionaire, you have a lot of money. Oh, why? Oh, let's say you're poor, you wanna be rich. Yeah. That's such a vague reason. I'll be honest, I have no respect for you if you say something like that. Why? Because it really holds no value at all. A value would be something like, I want to make Timmy happy. Why? Because Timmy's a cripple and he's an orphan. And he's a kid that I took in and I want to take care of him. And every single day I'm going to live my life to make sure Timmy is set. You know? We're all going to be happy. You see the difference in values? So it is important to have God be your checker of your value, and then from there, build out. That's all I have to say, to be honest. But I'll be honest, I think it is important to put yourself first. And it is important to always keep God around you. You know? It is not that hard to be a decent human being. It is not that hard to be nice, and it's not that hard to be genuinely interested in other people. Life is too short for people to be worrying about all this stuff that's out of your control. Yes, my boss is mad at me, barking at me. That's not gonna stop me from getting paid. Let him bark at me. I don't care. I'm still gonna get my shit done. I know what I get paid for. I know why they hired me, and I'm here to do what I came to do. So that's why I say, live with a purpose, exist with intention, and I'm telling you, everything is just gonna begin to make a lot more sense as you continue to live and exist with intention. It's okay to be a purpose driven man. I'm not even gonna. That's all I can say. There's no outro, bruh. Peace.